I hope you're having a fabulous start to the week. Get your popcorn, get your drinks, get comfortable. We are about to get into some things. So, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. We're getting back into the swing of things. We had kind of took a little hiatus there, and now we are getting back on track. So tonight we are going to be talking about Bad Bunny. He's been announced as the Super Bowl performer for the Super Bowl in 2026. So we got to talk about what's going on with that, as well as some comments from the Trump administration relating to his performance. We also got to talk about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. These two have been beefing for years, and it looks like that has just been taken up a notch because they have also brought in the children. So generally, the beefs kind of stay between the adults, between the artists, and they have now brought in the kids. So we got to talk about that. Also, looks like Nicki Minaj has some things to say about the Breakfast Club as well. And Diddy has been sentenced in the federal trial. So we were all waiting for the day of October 3rd after the verdict was handed out in July. And now the sentencing is in. So we got to talk a little bit about what was going on there, his family's participation, and what sentence he got. So stay tuned. We got some great things coming up. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Aries Rose, and welcome to Aries Rose TV. On this channel, we talk about streaming shows, movies, TV shows, local news, world news, politics, basically anything I find interesting, I come on and discuss with my Aries crew. If you're on Instagram, follow us there, Aries Rose TV. Let us know you are from YouTube, and we will follow you back. And we also, on the communities tab, now have the ability to talk with one another. So if you are a subscriber and you want to let me know about trends, topics, things you want me to cover on the channel, questions, discussion items, you can post them on the communities tab. I will definitely follow up with you. And let's get into our first story for tonight, which is going to be about Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl. So let's get into this reporting from TMZ. And this is Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. Bad Bunny will have to turn down invites during halftime of the Sunday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys, two teams with Super Bowl aspirations of their own. The pick here makes a ton of sense. Bad Bunny's one of the biggest stars in the world, with tons of fans in the region where the NFL is working to gain more of a foothold like South America. Plus, he's currently on tour, so he'll be well practiced and ready to take on one of the world's biggest stages in a few months. Let me know if you are a Bad Bunny fan, if you're looking forward to his performance at the Super Bowl. I've heard of him, not very familiar with his music. I believe it's mainly Spanish speaking music. So I've heard he's very popular. I've heard he's very good. So I'm looking forward to seeing the performance that he does here at the Super Bowl. What also is coming along with his performance is the Trump administration is saying that they will have ICE agents at the Super Bowl. So let's see what that administration has been saying about Bad Bunny's upcoming performance. And as you come into the video, let me know if you are a returning Aries crew member by saying hashtag Aries crew, or if you're a first time watcher, leave first time watcher in the comments. I want to give you a shout out for stopping by, spending part of your day here. As you come in, like the video, it's a free way to support the channel, goes a long way, and it means a lot. All right, so Trump advisor, Bad Bunny hates America, expect ICE to be at Super Bowl. It's reporting from TMZ. The NFL just announced Bad Bunny will perform at the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show, and now ICE is announcing their planned appearance, well, according to Donald Trump's former campaign manager. Check out Corey Lewandowski's appearance on Benny Johnson's The Benny Show. He's confident the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement will make their presence known at the Super Bowl next year. Corey, who worked on Trump's 2016 and 2024 presidential campaigns, even seems to offer a threatening message. Hold on here. Here we go. Sorry about that. Threatening message warning. Hold on. There we go. Warning. Quote, there is nowhere you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else, end quote. Bad Bunny, who hails from Puerto Rico, noted how thrilled he is to represent his home island and Latinos at the big show after he was revealed as the halftime entertainment, a coveted honor. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that the Trump administration making the announcement that ICE will be at the Super Bowl is trying to deter Bad Bunny fans from coming out to see his show? Do you think it will impact attendance at all, having ICE agents there? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I don't really remember presidents ever really saying too much about Super Bowl performers. I know that President Trump operates a little bit differently, but I do find that interesting that this particular one, they're making it known that they're going to have an ICE presence there. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you looking forward to the performance? Let's take a pause here for some comments. We got Derek, welcome, and Cool Kid, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you subscribing, Cool Kid. When you do subscribe, let me know in the comments. I want to personally welcome you to the Aries crew. Jesus, welcome, bienvenidos a Aries Rose TV. Right, and we're going to keep it going here. We have some more topics that we're going to get into. So Diddy has been sentenced here, and we are going to talk about that sentencing that recently came out. So he had a trial. Thank you so much, Cool Kid. Welcome to the Aries crew. We appreciate you being here. And so Diddy had a trial that was started back in, I want to say it was back in May of this year, and then it ended in the first week of July, just before the July 4th holiday. And he was convicted on the Mann Act. He was found innocent on racketeering and trafficking charges, which were some of the higher sentences that he could have possibly received. So after the verdict was given out, there was a lot of speculation about what amount of time did he get, because it was technically his first time being convicted. And his lawyers were trying to get it overturned, saying that the Mann Act was incorrectly applied, and the way it was intended at the time this first came along was for a different purpose than how it was being applied in his case. And they were trying all different legal ways to either get out of that particular trial and get a new trial so that that verdict isn't the one that they have to deal with. But ultimately, none of those stuck, and the judge sentenced him on October 3rd. So we're going to talk about what was kind of going on there. So Diddy has been in MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center, since, well, pretty much I want to say it was before he even went to trial. I think it was the end of 2024 or the beginning of 2025. He has been in MDC. Now, it had to have been 2024 because he wanted to have a quick trial to come up in May of this year, because he didn't want to be in there for too long. But that's ultimately not how the cookie crumbled here. But depending on how you view it, he may have gotten a good deal out of this, all things considered. So I think each sentence, it was my understanding, could have led to a maximum of 10 years each, so potentially 20 years. So let's see the sentencing that he ended up getting. And we'll compare to what the feedback was from President Trump on a pardon being requested, and Cassie Ventura's lawyer breaks their silence on the sentencing as well. So this is reporting from TMZ. Judge gives him 4 years in prison. Him is Diddy. So Diddy has finally received his sentence. Judge Arun Samaranian has ordered him to serve a little over 4 years in federal prison. The sentence came down Friday and is longer than what Diddy wanted. Remember, his legal team asked the judge for a 14-month sentence, while prosecutors wanted him to serve 11 years behind bars. He was ultimately given 50 months. Diddy's also required to pay a $500,000 fine, part of which will defray costs of imprisonment. The judge did not impose restitution. After announcing the sentence, the judge had some words for the quote, strong women who testified about their quote, horrific stories. The judge said, quote, to Ms. Ventura and the other brave survivors that came forward, I want to say first, we heard you, end quote. The sentencing hearing lasted several hours, which during prosecutors blasted Diddy for scheduling what they called a speaking engagement this upcoming Monday in Miami, while his team focused more on character witnesses and the emotional side of Diddy's situation. The defense even played a video of Diddy and his kids in court. Toward the end of the hearing, Diddy stood up to address the court and he apologized to his ex, Cassie Ventura. That's great to hear because she was probably one of the more well-known, well-publicized victims, and her situation was kind of laid out there, especially with that CNN video. So I'm glad to hear that he took the time to apologize to her in court. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. And we'll finish up the story here. It says we spoke to Sam Mangel yesterday, a prison consultant who served 20 months at a minimum security facility himself. And he said Diddy's going to be just fine behind bars because MDC Brooklyn is far worse than anywhere else he'll be sent to serve his time. Diddy also spent over a year in jail. He was arrested in September 2024, and he will get credit for time served. So let me know if you think that that sentence of 50 months was too much. Should he have been released that same day? Do you think that that speaking engagement that he allegedly had coming up on Monday may have impacted the judge's sentencing? I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are. I think that the sentence was fair. All things considered, I understood from what the judge said that he just didn't want to let it go like it was nothing because these women did come out, whether they were made to come out or voluntarily testified to bring their story and their situation to the court. And he didn't want that to appear to be ignored because I think it does also send a signal to anybody else who may be experiencing that if at that highest level it's not even going to impact anything with the sentencing, then why would they bother to go and report it? So understand on a greater scale, the judge had to think about how is this going to be perceived? How might this impact somebody else who may be a victim in the future moving forward or coming to seek help? Uh, but I also do think it was a fair sentence for somebody who had a first offense, and it wasn't too egregious to make a point, but just enough to where I think it will make Diddy have to sit down and really reflect on everything that took place. And if there's any type of good that can come out of it, I think he's been able to kind of detox from the substances that were in his system. He obviously can be away from the influences that were causing him to go into a lifestyle that was making him spiral and behave in ways that probably aren't really reflective of the person that he is. So I'm glad that he's getting that help. I'm glad that Cassie appears to be able to move on with her life and everybody else is picking up with that. My heart aches for his children because I understand they testified and they talked about how much they need their dad, and some of his kids, he is the only living parent too because they lost their mother, Kim Porter. So I do understand the importance of him being there and that feeling of loss. Fortunately, he is still alive and they can see him, I guess, if they're close enough, and he will be out within, Lord willing, their lifetime, and he will live long enough to come out. But there's going to be some time that he's going to miss with them, and I'm sure when Diddy comes out, he'll be a different person, and maybe that will make him a better father and a better man. And we'll see how the world receives him at that time. But those are my thoughts on this Diddy trial and sentencing. Let me know what you think in the comments. And let's see what President Trump has said about a pardon, because I know there's been a lot of talk about whether or not there may be a pardon for Diddy due to the relationship that he had with President Trump. And let's take a look here. Give me a second. Pull that up. Okay. And then stay tuned because we are going to be talking about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Their beef is taken up a level. Looks like they have now brought the kids into it. So we got to talk about that. That's going to be our next story. Stay tuned for this Diddy one. This is reporting from TMZ. Puff Daddy asked me for a pardon. This is from President Trump. Sean Diddy Combs is already going straight to the top for a get out of jail free card because President Trump says Diddy has asked for a presidential pardon. Trump was talking to reporters Monday at the White House when he revealed he'd gotten a special request for Diddy. President of the United States said, quote, "I call him Puff Daddy. He asked me for a pardon," end quote. Hold on. Just kicked right into an ad in the midst of me reading the story. Let me get this back here, but let me know in the comments here. What do you think about Diddy asking Trump for a pardon here? Do you think he should just do the time and be appreciative that the time wasn't a higher sentence? Or do you think that's fine that he asked for a pardon? That's just par for the course. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, let's bring it back to the story here. President of the United States said, quote, "I call him Puff Daddy and he asked me for a pardon," end quote. Our sources say Diddy reached out to the White House right after he was sentenced Friday to 50 months in prison. We're told the person who requested the pardon is very close to Diddy, and they spoke to someone inside the White House who has direct access to Trump. The press did not indicate either way if he was for or against granting Diddy clemency, at least while he held court with reporters. Stay tuned. So we'll see how that goes. So far, we know it hasn't been given, but knowing that President Trump likes to do things on a grand scale and make sure everybody knows when he does something, I'm sure if he does pardon Diddy, we will hear about it. And if that does happen, we will let you know here on Aries Rose TV. So if you haven't already done so, hit that subscription button. It's free to join. We'd love to have you a part of the Aries crew. When you do subscribe, make sure you let me know in the comments so I can personally welcome you to the Aries crew. And let's get into our last story here. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. The girls are fighting. And so the sad part here is, unfortunately, it looks like it's bringing in the kids. So that's a first for me, and I'm a little bit shocked because they're both moms and they're definitely both mama bears who love and protect their kids. So I'm kind of shocked that they're going to the level of involving the kids. But let's get into this reporting from TMZ. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, we apologize to the kids because your mom effing sucks. Wow. Right, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are still going at each other's throats after several days of social media venom directed at the other's kids. Disses that haven't slowed down at all. So this looks like it's from X. And this is from Nicki Minaj's ex. Quote, "Dear culture, truth is I did all of this for a bigger purpose, and one day you'll understand. You're a cute kid, and lots of kids have cute little funny looking gums before they grow into all their features. One day you'll see this, so I have to say I apologize as a child of God and a queen of my community who look to me for integrity. You're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, aunts, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they've said." Done. "For what they've said and tried to do to my young prophet slash beautiful boy. Take care, my darling. This isn't who I am," end quote. And then Cardi B, quote, Dear Papa P, alluding to a substance there. Quote, "I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days because she can't take my success or happiness. One day you're going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no, and you can overcome the PDF file blood you inherited from you, your grandfather, father, and uncle. Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mommy rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully somebody that really cares about her puts her in rehab and get her the help she needs to come out and read you a book," end quote. Wow, I am just so shocked it's going to that level. Let's get back into the article here. The Queen has been under fire for roasting Cardi and Offset's daughter Culture earlier this week, but she and her Barbs have been digging up screen grabs, maintaining it was Cardi who took a shot at the cradle first. Nonetheless, Nicki wrote an open letter somewhat apologizing to the 7-year-old, telling the tyke it's not her fault. She has funny looking gums, but blames Cardi for taking her out of character. So this is something that looks like X posted on X by Cardi B. Quote, Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak and banging spoons because your mom couldn't put these substances down. I'm sorry your mom not even paying attention to you on your birthday because she's such an obsessed and dark spirited hating garden tool. I'm so sorry. End quote. Wow. And then Nicki Minaj, this is looks like she posted on her ex, always quote, always dark skinned women and deceased newborns, nasty like her culture swab. Wow, end quote. No, okay, I'm not sure what that means, but that was rough. This looks like it was on Cardi B's X account here, and she wrote, quote, you said you're gonna kick my child's gums back. Didn't you say you was in NY? This past words now. Where the F you at? Cause today gonna be the day I go to jail. End quote. Wow. That's a lot. I'm really shocked about that. Cardi didn't welcome Nicki's mea culpa with open arms, getting snarky in her own right and clung even tighter to the narrative that Nicki used substances while pregnant by labeling her son Papa and then a substance that starts with a P. She also ripped Nicki for going berserk on her during the 5-year-old's birthday a couple of days ago instead of spending quality time. Nicki has taken shots at DJ Vlad, The Breakfast Club, even us, but vows to get the last laugh when her album drops in March 2026. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. That's wild for me. I think kids should be off limits. If you're going to go back and forth, just keep it between the adults. I just don't feel like the kids sign up for that. Kids are innocent. Leave them out of it and just come for each other. So I'm a little bit sad to see these two beautiful ladies going to this level with this particular situation, because I think they could do better than this, and I think they also need to be an example for us because people are watching this, the world is watching this, and this is how they take cues on what our culture is like and how we handle business and things. And I just think that it is not the example that we want to set. It's okay for people to beef. Everything does not have to be perfect. You do not have to like and love each other, but I don't think you have to knock each other down publicly, and you especially do not have to knock down each other's kids. I just truly feel like kids, family members, off limits. Keep it with the artists, the famous people, the adults. It's just it keeps it cleaner. It keeps things from getting out of hand, and I think that's just the best route to go because you can't win when you start bringing in the kids. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. We will not be live tomorrow, but we'll be back on live Wednesday. So we look forward to seeing you then. We're going to be doing a live on Friday, doing a movie review. We're trying to incorporate more of that in. So stay tuned for a poll, and you can pick the movie that I'll do the review on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. We're trying to get to 2,000 followers here by the end of fall or end of winter here. So please share this live out with family and friends, people that you know love to talk a little bit about everything. This is the perfect channel for them. We'd love to have them part of the Aries crew. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever time of day you're watching. And we'll see you later. Take care.